Okay, before we get started, I have to ask. I keep seeing... Okay, I have not looked into monkeypox, like, at all. I just don't care anymore. Every time they say that there's going to be a pandemic now, I just tune out. Like, oh, the next disease is here. Oh my god, we're all going to die. I'm like, yeah, whatever. If I die, I die. If he dies, he dies. I don't care anymore. Like, they have exhausted me when it comes to pandemic panic porn. I'm over it. I'm over it. So, but I'm looking online, and on more than one occasion, I keep seeing monkeypox being referred to as an STD. Is that true? Is monkeypox actually like a like something that you get whenever you bump the uglies? You know what I'm saying? If so, somebody, is it the new AIDS? I don't know. It seems kind of strange that people keep referring it to it. You know what? I wonder if I can just zoom in a little bit more. There we go. If it is, then why, why is everyone, why is everyone so unafraid of it except the left? They're like, monkeypox are gonna get us. I mean, I'm fine. I'm not that scared. Come on. It's a little strange. What's up, everybody? So, I want to make a quick apology. I want to make a quick apology to you guys. I said that on Friday, I said that I was going to go live again while I was at the SAS Student Action Summit in Tampa, Florida, which I'm about to go into with some detail. And I didn't go live again. The reason being is because the internet was so trash that I was watching back the playback from the live stream, and it was like a pause for like a 3-second pause every other second. And I was like, this is unwatchable. This is absolutely, if I was watching this, I would shut it off. So I was like, I'm just not going to go live again. And instead, I just recorded everything that I did, all these little things. And I got some really great interviews. I talked to some really great people. I'm going to get as much of that as possible up on the YouTube page as soon as possible. I can't guarantee it's all going to get uploaded in a single day. So if you are coming here to ask when it will be available, if you were one of the interviews or something like that, I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. I have miles of footage. Miles of footage. So, also, I apologize if this stream is a little bit shorter than most. It was, it's, your boy tired. Your boy real tired. He went non-stop for 3 days with very little sleep in between. So, this show, the fact that this show is happening right now is a miracle. But in the meantime, how was your weekend? What's up, everybody? I'm glad to see y'all here. I think it's for mostly be very close contact. Not necessarily by just sexual contact, but close contact. Oh. Well, as you guys know, Republicans, we don't really like to touch each other. We don't like to get in. We have a natural 6-foot barrier between each other. Don't get close to me. I think I'm the only female that goes on here. The only female that is in this chat. Not true. Pickled Squirrel. Pickled Squirrel is one. Mankin Studios is one. Susie. Becca. There's also those lurkers. The lurkers in the chat too. Who don't chat, but they're here. I see you. And I love you. I want to send your pal Bonchi a copy of Frank Barham's Cartridges of the World. Cartridges of the World? What is that in, like, what kind of cartridges? Like Nintendo cartridges? I watched the unwatchable things, so what if it was a slideshow? God, that was pathetic. I was over it. The moment I clicked on it and I started watching the playback, I was like, this is just nasty. Our boy needs a nap. Dude, you have no idea. Here's the funny, before stream, I typically, I'll like change into like, you know, some more appropriate clothing. And today I was like, I don't care. Right now I'm wearing workout shorts. I've got like a t-shirt that I was wearing last night on. I did not even remotely care about even how my hair looked before. I'm just like, you guys just woke up. I woke up like this, Brandon. As long as you don't take it up the pooper, you have nothing to worry about with monkeypox. That's good to know. That's good to know. Cause, you know, I don't do that. That is strictly an exit. Also, Brandon, I already read that. What happened to the 6 feet distance, LL, just saying. I don't like being touched, you know? And I actually, weirdly, I don't know. I do not like the feeling of being touched, like, by strangers, you know? Like, I don't mind, like, you know, like a hand on my arm for half a second or something like that. But, like, I'll give you a good example. On the flight home, there was this lady who was sitting next to me, and she was large, okay? It was like, thank God I had an aisle seat. She was rather large, and her presence was not just filling up her seat, it was also kind of invading into mine a little bit. And I was doing this, it's like, I'm not a small person, you know. I'm 6'2". I've got a lot of leg, you know. I got a little bit of a wingspan. Okay, I'm a rather larger than normal guy. I was trying to minimize myself as much as possible to get away from this lady into my seat, just so that I wouldn't have to, like, I didn't like the feeling of her touching me. I didn't like it at all, you know. You look marvelous, Brett. Thank you, Lord Jim. I appreciate that. I certainly don't feel marvelous, but you know what? I'll take the compliment, bro. Thank you. We recorded yesterday, so of course I'm nursing a hangover. Oh, dude. I love a good podcast where they drink during it. I love that. By the way, what's up, Badger? Thought I was outnumbered. Oh no, you got plenty of ladies around you here. What's up, Mintats? All kinds of rifle, handgun, shotgun, miscellaneous, Atari, naturally. Sounds like free internet from a comfort inn. Kinda, sorta, it was a little bit. You'd figure, and for the amount of, and they charge you for it. You don't just like get into, like, Like, if you're a booth, you don't just get on to the convention center's Wi-Fi, right? You have to buy Wi-Fi access if you're a booth. And then the internet they provide you is like you just said, like comfort and free access. It's being shared by like everybody else. It's absolute garbage. So I was like, I'm screw it, dude. Screw it, whatever. I'm just gonna record. I'm not gonna subject you guys to watching as what Red just called it, a slideshow. I'm not gonna do that. That would be mean. That would be mean. Dude, I'm the same about being touched. Please stay out of my personal space. Exactly. No. Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Is that how that song goes? I can't remember. We got a lot to talk about. For one, I want to talk about what happened at SAS, though. I don't want to just complain about the internet. So we went there as Red State will, and I got to go there for free because your boy was a speaker. Right now, if you want to go watch my stage presence, I was up on a panel with Breitbart's Matt Boyle and Town Hall's, our sister site, Julio Rosas, who you guys might know. You've probably seen him on Tucker Carlson quite a bit. He is the guy who shows up to Antifa rallies. He's kind of like our Andy No. He shows up to Antifa rallies and films everything that's going down. He reports on it for Fox News whenever they bring him in to talk to Tucker about it. Some pretty crazy stuff that guy has seen. And God bless him for it. But we got to be up on stage and talk to the kids about how to get started in this industry, in this news industry. And like, I had to admit on stage that like I was a high school dropout. I was like, yeah, because my point is that you don't need to be somebody with this huge degree in order to change the world. You know, like you don't have to have these really famous bylines and, you know, work at the New York Post or New York Times or, you know, all these lefty rags. I was like, I'm a high school dropout who worked really hard to get where he is today. You know, like I'm not on this stage just because I lucked into, well, that's probably not true. I probably had a few blessings from the Lord, but I mean, I would say that, you know, I worked a lot to get to this point. And that was what I wanted to really impress upon the kids was like, you know, if you want to do this, by all means, do it. Do it by all means, but don't think that you're going to find success overnight. It does happen, but it's very rare. Like you work your ass off. And, you know, this is a tough industry. It's an already heavily soaked industry, but to be honest with you, the iron has never been hotter for conservative politics. If you want to strike it, do it. So that's what we talked about, but that wasn't the best part, honestly. The best part was what happened both inside and outside the convention. And I kind of wanted to talk about some of that. Brandon speaks roughly. Yeah, thank you. Red just posted it. Roughly an hour into that link, that Rumble link that he just posted is the little panel that I did. Please don't make fun of my hair. Because no one told me this, but my hair was doing, like, you know, like sometimes if I'm not noticing, it'll do it. It does this thing. I hate it. I hate it when it does that. So, you know, please don't make fun of me for that. But yeah, you can go watch that later. Now, right now, we got stuff to talk about. I didn't make it all the way through, but I started watching it. Is it that bad you didn't make it all the way through? Everyone was a dropout of some sort, though. The funny part is that each of us on that stage were dropouts. Like, we dropped out somewhere along our educational journey, you know, because public education is worth jack freaking squat. I failed out of college twice. College don't mean nothing nowadays, man. I especially if you look now, like, at all the stuff that... And you know what? Here, look. Guaranteed this girl right here went to college. This girl right here, guaranteed, went to college. And look at her. Look at her. And what's funny, though, is like I had people approaching me after I gave that little speech. And they were like, I didn't graduate either. And I turned into like this really successful businessman, you know, or I'm doing something great. And I dropped out of school. And I was like, one guy came up and he's like, you're not the only one. Like, a lot of the famous billionaires today dropped out of school. And I was like, that's true. So I don't know. I feel like our public education system is just so garbage that like dropping out of school it used to be like, oh my god, you're a dropout. Like that's, ew. You must not have your life together. Blah blah blah. Nowadays it's like that's probably a smart idea. Just get out. Get out. I had a commercial flight. I prefer to fly myself, but hot flights aren't bad. I would like to fly myself too. If I could, I would. Anything worth. I wish I'd stayed. I started to become a pilot. Literally started to study it. Fun fact about me: I came this close to being my career path being a commercial pilot, and I stopped. And sometimes I'm like, God, I wish I had followed through with that. Anything worth doing takes time. Anything you build well, takes time. I said that. Yeah. That. See, look at that. I say smart things. I see more live streamer getting followed than MSN because live streamers, live streamers like myself, and I'm not counting myself obviously amongst the famous ones. I'm not, right? But if you really break it down, you have live streamers who are engaging with their audience more. It's not just a monologue, it's a dialogue between me and you guys. And because you guys get to have your say, it becomes more like a conversation with just one guy talking his ass off more than everyone else, right? But it allows for more of a community to form. And when that community forms, it's like people gathering in a convention center every other day in order to discuss their favorite thing. And if that favorite thing is news, they're watching a live stream or something like that, then, that's, they get informed along with their community all together and they can talk to each other while it's happening. I don't know. There's a magic to it. There's some kind of connection that forms, and because this guy might form a community, and I really do hope this happens one day, he gets his own like research team. He gets his own video editing team. Like these people, they just come out of the woodwork and they present themselves like, hey, I have this talent and I would like to assist you with what you're doing. And boom, next thing you know, you have an entire like small business based around information distribution and community gathering. It's pretty great. It's a business model that I feel like doesn't really get talked about, especially in the conservative movement. And it's something that I would, at some point in time, love to talk about, like in front of people, on a stage. I cheated, I dropped out and joined the Navy. Woohoo, best idea at 19. Oh, only idea. Dude, but see, well, back then, I don't know about now, but I mean, like, back then, the military is a perfectly good, like, career path, At least you have hair to make fun of. Sorry, Kurt. But she did pay for the college, but did she pay for the college, or was it paid for by someone else? That might make a difference. That's also a really good point. I bet she didn't. I bet she started out, here's what's sad. I bet this girl started out very normal. And then over the course of maybe a year and a half, she became this. You had the Clark Kent. I've heard it called that before. Yeah, except my Clark Kent doesn't look charming. My Clark Kent looks like, bro, do your hair. I did have stuff in my hair too. I had like a not sculpting putty. I forget what they call it. It's just like a tin, and then there's like, it's not gel either. I don't know what it's called. Alex Stein had some fun there. Dude, I actually have a clip of Alex Stein that I'm going to release because he freaking... Oh my god, I laughed so hard. Let me tell you, okay, before we get started, I have one more thing to say, and then we'll get into this. I had this brilliant idea while I was there. I set up the Red State booth, right? And I had my M200, the thing that I'm talking to you right now on, and then my computer laptop camera. And I was going to use my computer laptop camera, which faced me and whatever guest was talking to me at the moment, and we were going to use that. But I pointed my Canon M200 camera, the thing I'm talking to you now on, toward the hall right in front of me, so you could see all these people walking by. And I had a handwritten little sign that said wave to the camera, and then I had another microphone right below that said say something, right? So like anyone could come by and they could wave to the camera and say hi, or they could pick up the microphone and just like say like a 5 second, 10 second thing into the camera, or and then walk away, right? It was I was giving the attendees their own spotlight, their 10-second spotlight, and I was going to create this awesome B-roll footage of it, like put it together a little montage. And this was the day that Trump was supposed to show up. And for those of you who have never been to a Trump event, like at a convention center or something like that, they take security very seriously when he's there. So instead of just allowing people to walk in and out of the convention center, they had them line up and like snake around Media Row. The issue is that the line carried them away from my booth. They didn't even see my booth, right? Carried them completely away from it, and then snaked away into the main floor of the convention center. So I'm sitting there, you only get like random photo or random people just kind of walking by who actually worked there down the hallway for that entire day. And I was so mad. There was one moment, Congresswoman Lauren Boebert walked by, saw the picture, saw the Canon camera with the sign on it, and she goes, ah, like that as she walked by. I wasn't recording. It was the one moment I wasn't recording. Thanks, Trump. We're going to talk about Trump here in a second, dude. His speech was killer. All right. Protesters unhinged at Turning Point USA Summit. Ted Cruz has best response to Woken City. So a lot of people showed up to SAS 2022, which was a banger. Okay, absolute banger. I had a really good time. A lot of great people were there. I got to reunite with some folks who I have come to respect. Tina Gwynn, formerly of Politico and oh God, why can't it? Vanity Fair, who now works for Puck, was there. Got to sit down and chat with her. Paige Rue, I got to sit down and have another short conversation with her. I met Josh Phillip of Epic Times, who has an amazing documentary coming out about January 6th. You need to go watch it. Seriously, epictv.com. Go check out The Truth About January 6th documentary. It'll blow your mind. It will. Met all those people, but also the people who did show up were the crazies. Naturally, the crazies have to show up to conservative conventions. It's been that way since I started going to conservative conventions back in like 2010. All right. I can remember my first CPAC. You had these labor unions show up with like these giant corporate pigs, inflatable corporate pigs, and they would like yell and scream at conservatives who were more than happy to come out and then yell and scream back. That's just the way it is. So naturally they showed up to SAS, but nowadays, instead of like, unions and stuff who Democrats have, I don't know, they've largely abandoned the working man, so I feel like I see union protests less and less. Now it's all college protesters. They come out and they get crazy, and they don't wash themselves. Clearly, they don't take showers. And they scream at us, and they say weird things. Two groups in particular showed up. This one is the first one. Turning Point USA, which held its Student Action Summit in 2022 in Tampa, Florida this weekend. Among the speakers at the summit are members like Congressman Ted Cruz, who, by the way, that dude liked to scream. He was yelling a lot on that stage. Like, you could hear it from where I was outside. And Senator Josh Hawley, our well-known conservative voice, as President Donald Trump is the featured speaker at the event Saturday night. I will get to that in a second. It was insane. As we reported, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis kicked it off on Friday with a great speech, including a classic line, "I want to wish Joe Biden a speedy recovery from COVID. And I want to wish America a speedy recovery from Joe Biden." I was there when he said it. It was actually pretty great. He spoke about having to deal with a lot of crazy things from the left. He did. Perhaps there was nothing that exemplified that more than the small group of protesters who parked themselves outside the event screaming at attendees. Now, what's funny is that they think they're succeeding in shutting down the event or blocking one of the speakers, Drew Hernandez. Yet, they're trying to call the conservative summit fascist. It's these folks who want to shut down speech other than their own who are fascists. One of them who let loose just was completely unhinged, shouting, "Stand up, fight back" at Hernandez. I didn't get to see these people. I did confront the Nazis who showed up. The Nazis. I'm not convinced that they were actual Nazis. I think they're plants, but I'll get to that in a second. Drew Hernandez did catch. I wish I had known about them. I would have confronted these people. But here is what we were dealing with at the convention. Enjoy.
Set up, fight back! Okay. Set up, fight back!
Guys, it's a real life NPC. Can you say anything else? What was that?
Get the fuck up!
What's that?
I'm a trans gay man.
What? You are the fascist. You are the fascist. You're shutting me down. You're the fascist. Fascist. The fascists are here. No, I'm not going anywhere. This is our event.
I don't give a fuck. You
Okay.
need to back up.
So you're going to
You need
tell
back
us
up.
to leave?
Well, because we are taking this space, so we need
This is our
And I'm
event.
talking about, I get it, but...
So you're not going to tell me what I can or cannot do on this property.
I'm just letting you know
He's kind of stunned for a second. He's like, processing. This is, dude, these people. Okay, hang on. I'm going to let this video finish first.
Or else what? What are you going to do?
I'm not going to do anything.
Okay.
because
Oh!
What's that? What'd you say?
Sorry for the language, guys, but you know these people. I don't have to. At this point in time, I feel like I don't have to warn you about that.
I don't want to have sex with you. What are you shutting down? What are you shutting down? What are you shutting down? You're not shutting anything down.
So this is what we were dealing with. These people show up and they think that they're making a difference. You'll notice that they're all about, I would say, college age, maybe a little bit older, some of these people, but most of these people are completely college aged. They have no idea why they're there. All they know is that it has something to do with conservatism. Charlie Kirk is somehow involved, and everyone knows Charlie Kirk is a Nazi. They are going absolutely ape for absolutely no reason. They don't know why. They hear the word conservative, they immediately associate it with neo-Nazism. You know, they immediately associate it with white supremacy. Okay, they immediately associate it with bigotry, which is absolutely the furthest from the truth. Literally, there were people at Trump's speech wearing t-shirts that said gays for Trump, and they were perfectly welcome there, right? And not only that, the amount of diversity, and I'm talking about their kind of diversity, that shallow skin, deep diversity, was very present. Very present. Okay? It was a rainbow coalition of Trump supporters. Okay? There is no reason why these people have any reason to call us all these bad names and pretend that we're the most evil generation that ever lived, or not evil generation, but the most evil ideology that ever lived. That is complete nonsense. But they show up here and they want to, they think that they're doing something good, like you just saw. You know, we're gonna shut it down. We're gonna fight back. What are you fighting back? What are you shutting down? What do you think that you're shutting down? What do you think that you're accomplishing? Do you actually think that you're making a difference here? No. People were lined up literally during the whole Trump thing. They were lined up around the whole entire building on the interior because it's super hot outside. It might have gone outside. I don't know. But it lined up around the entire area. And we had the convention. When Trump spoke, it was so packed. I was on the VIP. I was on the VIP side. There was not a place to sit down, so the vast majority of us who were in the VIP area were standing. We were standing in the hallways. We were standing on the side parts. I eventually transferred over to the press area where they had like one single chair because I had been standing for hours at that point and I needed to sit down. Nothing got shut down. But these kids, they probably came in and they literally thought they did something great. It's like, what did you do? What did you accomplish except for going outside, probably smelling bad? Why is this girl wearing a scarf during the summer? Okay, this was Tampa, Florida. Okay, you go outside and the humidity is so bad, within 5 seconds you're sweating. You're sweating. You go inside and for like a few minutes afterwards, you're still sweating. It the heat clings to you. This girl is out here wearing, I don't get it. She's wearing the shorts. She's wearing a light t-shirt. And then on top of that, she's like, I'm going to put on a scarf. These are the kind of people we deal with, folks. These are the kind of people we deal with. I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's the left all wrapped up in one person brooking nothing which challenges their worldview. Everything else must be screamed at. They can't tolerate it because everything offends them. Hernandez dubs the first woman a real-life NPC, and that is such a great way to describe the NPC. NPC is the best way to describe angry college students on the left. I cannot think of a better term. I cannot think of a better comparison. And I have witnessed it for years. If you ask an angry leftist college student something, they will repeat a line to you over and over and over and over again, like straight out of a video game. For those of you who don't know what NPC means, it means non-player character. Non-player character is how you describe a character in a video game that you can interact with, but obviously since it's not human, it only has like a few lines. In old, like especially the old JRPGs and stuff like that, you would go like the old Final Fantasies, or even like Final Fantasy 7 and below, Final Fantasy 8, all these people. You'd go up to these characters and they would have a few lines of dialogue to give you. And then if you tried to speak to them again, they would give you the exact same lines of dialogue over and over. It doesn't matter how many times you talk to them, they do not change up their dialogue. It's the same thing over and over again, repeated, repeated, repeated. I cannot think of a better way to describe angry college leftists. You go up and you try to engage them in conversation and they scream one thing at you. If you try to ask them another question, they scream the exact same thing at you. If you try to anything, it doesn't matter what you say. You could go up and say monkeypox pandemic and they would scream they'd scream the exact same thing back at you. That's just the way. So they are real life NPCs, and Hernandez is 110% completely correct about that. So let's watch this one because it gets so good.
You're a fascist! You're a fascist! You're a fascist! Shutting down journalists!
I'm a libertarian. Do these people not know what libertarians are? Out of curiosity, do they not know? Libertarian means that you are small government, and you are pretty much when it comes to you are next to a social anarchist. When you are a libertarian, you're not full on anarchist. You do believe in the rule of law, but you are, you're not too far away from anarchy. Not too far. You believe that, people should be able to do what they want, when they want, how they want, so long as it doesn't hurt anybody else or affect anybody else who doesn't want to be affected by it. That's your position. This girl is out here trying to shut down a conference full of people strictly because she disagrees with them politically. Stupid libertarian of her. Oh my God. The amount of libertarian that she is blows my mind. Absolutely. White leftist woman showed up to protest SAS2022 to tell me to go back to where I came from. I am brown and deeply offended.
What's that?
Florida doesn't want you. Go back to where you came from.
What is that supposed to mean?
Florida doesn't want you. You're a racist.
You're a white
misogynist.
You're a white liberal.
You're a
You're a white liberal racist.
racist.
You're telling a person of color. You're telling a person of color to go back to where they came from.
I'm telling you to go back.
You're telling
Go
a
back to your
person of
state. Go to
color.
Oklahoma. Go
You're
back to
telling a
Tennessee.
person of color. You're telling a person of color.
We don't want you here.
What is this little dance she's doing? What she's she's like spinning around, trying her absolute best not to look Jason in the eye. I mean, Hernandez in the eye. Her absolute best, and she's not. She knows that she's beat, right? He brings up a really good point. Why are you saying that to me, a brown man? I'm deeply offended. She kind of screwed herself there. And she is doing her absolute best to try to dance away from, like, she's doing this little, like, twirly dance.
You're a white liberal. You're a white liberal racist. You're telling a person of color. You're telling a person of color to go back to where they came from. You're telling a person of color. You're telling a person of color. You're telling a person of color.
We don't want you here. Get out of here. Go back. We don't want
You're a
you.
bigot.
Get
You're
out
a
of here.
bigot. You're a bigot.
Why does she have the most annoying voice, too? They all have the most annoying voices. They're, like, so shrill. I don't... Is that what happens after you just start screaming like an NPC after... You're racist! You're racist! You're racist! Live in Tampa, Jack Prosovic leads the crowd in chants of USA as protesters leave TPUSA's Student Action Summit. So with no scalp to speak of, nothing accomplished, they walk away. Oh, utter defeat. Utter defeat. It's so good. It's so good. And then Ted Cruz had this to say.
All of y'all on campuses across the country, your classmates, even if they're scared to say it, are looking around thinking this stuff is nuts. I talked to a student recently at one of our woke college campuses who said she is required in every class to introduce herself and to give her pronouns. Well, I'm Ted Cruz, and my pronoun is kiss my ass.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's good stuff, man. I like the fact that this moment right here in particular kind of embodies that, what Ted Cruz just said. Notice that these people came out. They thought that they would come in force and maybe intimidate people. They would shut it down, whatever. I don't know. But they got absolutely rejected by these people who came out to meet them. I've never known conservatives to be afraid to engage with leftists. Never. And whenever they engage with leftists, they don't just scream the same thing over and over and over and over again. I mean, they might get into a USA chant here and there. But they actually try to engage in debate. And you saw what happened. This lady was doing her little dance.
What's that?
Her little dance trying to avoid talking to him. With nothing but name calling. And that's something that Ron DeSantis said, and I thought it was really, really poignant. All they have left is name calling now. They have nothing. They've got absolutely nothing. They just throw these names at you. You're trying to debate facts and trying to actually get to the bottom of their problem with you or their problem with your ideology, to the problem with America, and that's the only thing they can respond with. They're NPCs. They do not have anything. They don't have anything. If you saw the Rubin speech Sunday morning, you should tell them about the gay-related question he got, if you remember. I actually did not see that. After I left the stage, he went on right after me, and I didn't get to see it. What's the Jim? What's the gay-related question that he asked? That's incitement of a riot. That's how things work, right? I'm doing 10 things at once. It's all right, Mini Raptor. You do what you got to do, man. I speak only for myself, but 12 years in the army, language doesn't bother me. Urge to kill rising. Somebody hold Mentats back! Cursing in an artful manner is very possible. I would know. These people make me so angry. Here's what I would advise, Mentats. And this goes out to everybody. Don't necessarily let these people make you angry. That's what they want. If you get angry at these people, I understand the frustration. I get frustrated with them. But they want you to be angry. They want you to lose it. They want you to say and do stuff that makes you look like that. Because, then they can turn around and use the big stage, which they own, to make you look like a crazy person. But also, I mean, outside of just you giving them ammo against you to use on the big stage, what's the point of getting mad at these people? It's like they do not let them control your emotions. Don't let them have that pleasure. To have the ability to make you feel a certain way. A lot of these people, you'll notice, and Drew Hernandez does it perfectly. He goes out and he has fun with these people. And that's kind of how it needs to be seen. You know, us, we're the good time, you know, having not angry. We're just, you know, we're pointing out the ridiculousness of it all. While they get to be upset, while they get to lose it, while they get to have, you know, the stress, let them have the stress. Why should we have it? Go out and have fun and make them look like idiots in the meantime. Yeah, she's not a libertarian. Dude, no way. It's another one of those words I feel like just has gotten lost on many people. I self-identify as a minarchist. I like that word, minarchist. I want to be an Apache attack helicopter, pretty please. I want to self-identify myself as I'm a billionaire. Okay, who was it in chat the other day who was like, I identify as a billionaire and you not giving me subsidies or something like that is denying me my... is being a billionaire phobe and denying me of my, my rightful... What was it? My rightful subsidies or something? Tax subsidies. Dance away the racism. She was a pretty ballerina. Way too much time and not enough work, yeah. I think I will be a butterfly today. You know what? You can be whatever you want if you just believe. I actually like seeing videos like this. Stupid people should be easy to spot. I agree, man. I agree. I actually think that I love it when they expose themselves like this. Not in that way. Okay? For some of you. Not in that way. But I like it when they show up and start acting like idiots. Here's the other group that showed up. And I actually did show up to this one. You might recognize this guy. Ted Cruz VP, maybe? I think he would make a pretty good VP. Actually, you know what? He might make a very good VP. Normally, they choose their VPs based on, like, if they have an issue getting in a region or a state to vote for them, they'll throw up their candidate from that state in order to tip the scales. But we got a red wave coming up, so who knows? Maybe we could just be a little more loose with it and just be like, yeah, Ted Cruz VP. Can you imagine how they would lose it? Can you imagine that? Ted Cruz for VP? That would be a million of those, like, Pats that were sitting outside when Trump was announced president, just screaming no into the air. A million. Times a million. Just shove them out of the way. Yeah. Don't dead finance me. That's it. Dead finance. Animal, that was you, wasn't it? Looks like you pasted yourself into that pic. Does it? Does it look like that? Here's the video. So I saw these Nazis. They showed up.
Hey, so apparently...
Take it away,
Nazis decided to show up with all this, like, pro-DeSantis stuff to boot.
Okay, so I don't know if you can tell from this... What a freeze frame. What a freeze frame. I don't know if you can tell from here
And they're
on the
totally
video.
pulling it off, right? They're convincing everybody.
That
they're
DeSantis
actually with
flag
it.
that they were waving around,
My favorite is...
where is it?
Yeah, look at that. Hey, you know who's really awesome?
Or no, that was that not it? No.
I love Joe Biden. They're so awesome.
Yeah. So
What a fucking idiot. I don't know what he's saying. I don't care. But yeah, they're not really fooling anybody, to be honest with you.
yeah, you can't. I was seeing if you could get like a good look at it, but apparently you can't. So that DeSantis flag that they pulled out was brand spanking new. There was still creases in it, so they had literally unpackaged it that morning. I have sources that told me that the Nazis who showed up out in front of SAS were an actual Nazi group. That's what I was told. They are a Nazi group that shows up to every conservative event in Florida, right? And they actually do believe that they are. I have trouble believing that. It's not just the creased flag, right? It's the fact that if you actually looked at some of their poster boards, it looked like memes that you would see off of like 4chan. So in my opinion, it's almost kind of like they went onto 4chan and found what, actual, because there are neo-Nazis on 4chan. They're there, trust me. They saw what they were talking about and the memes that they were posting, and they decided to take those memes and put them on poster boards and then come to these places. They always show up to conservative movements, okay? They have these poster boards, these fresh new creased flags, all right? And the memes thing kind of makes me think, I don't know, it kind of screams plant to me. It kind of screams plant. There was also another guy holding a poster board there that had like Nazi hubcaps on the, y'all remember the thing in Canada, the Canadian Truckers for Freedom? It had those trucks on a poster board, but with Nazi hubcaps on it. Like, why would you go after the Canadian truckers? It had nothing to do with Nazism. The only time Nazism was ever mentioned in conjunction with the truckers was when the left was trying to accuse them of being Nazis. So it's kind of weird to me that like Nazis were like, yeah, we're going to claim that. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. It does make sense if you take a leftist and understand that leftists were trying to associate them with Nazis the entire time, and so they would do something like that. You know, I don't know. It's weird stuff. Now, given I'm clearly not versed in neo-Nazi culture, I don't know. Maybe they are. You know, I just don't know, man. It just seems like a leftist plant. And the other thing that I noticed that I thought was really weird, or Brad Slager noticed this. Brad noticed this. When he was outside, there was press there. And one of them was laying on his back with his camera, like pointing upward, trying to get this super dramatic shot of the neo-Nazis. In order to give you give the viewer this impression that neo-Nazis were there and they were in force and it was scary, and look at how tall they're standing with their flags, like they're so it just seemed so convenient to me that at one point I was like, I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it, man. Taylor Hansen was there too, and he kind of released this video.
So we got some straight up feds out here at this event. I'm asking them, trying to get them to take their masks off. They won't. They say it's because where they work. Their stories have contradicted each other over and over and over again. They don't even believe in what they're doing right now. These aren't real Nazis. Yeah, you might have a few real Nazis employed by the FBI here, but that's literally what's going on. We've seen this in Canada. We've seen this all around the country. We saw this on January 6th. This is a common reoccurrence. These people show up, give bad optics. I mean, they're at a damn high school event right now. I asked them why they're here at a high school event, why they chose this, and if they're organized. They said, no, we're not organized. We just all showed up. So they just all showed up individually and decided that they're all going to be Nazis and wave Nazi flags outside of a high school event.
I don't know about the whole Fed thing. I don't know if that's the truth. I do think that Patriot Front has some feds in it, because I mean they're bad at hiding it from time. Literally, they have bullhorns that say FBI on them. But I don't know. It's really clearly, if they're all just unorganized and they just got together here at the same time, that is a coincidence that I'm not willing to believe. I can't believe that for like even 2 seconds. Sorry.
Allegedly, without even communicating with each other, because that makes a lot of
fellow
sense.
ginger.
Able to
There's
just
more than
speak
one.
their minds and all come in here at the same time with no Telegram group chats, no group chats to organize, absolutely no organization. They said. But yet they're all here doing the exact same thing. One man said that his parents were murdered by a black man, and that's why he's out here. He's allegedly 18 years old, and his story just keeps contradicting itself.
Not one of those people was 18. I got up close. I was calling them cowards I was pointing at them and calling them cowards to their face. It's up on my Instagram if you want to go see it. Not one of those people was 18 years old. They smelled like they hadn't bathed in 18 years. That's for true. But 18, no.
These people are lying. These people are here for bad optics, to give bad optics to Turning Point USA, so you can have left-wing journalists like Stephen Monticelli and Zachary Patrizio pick up these stories saying, hey, look at this Nazi holding a Ron DeSantis sign. That means Ron DeSantis is a Nazi and his base is Nazis. I mean, it is so obvious what's going on right here, right now, and it's just, I mean, look at this.
Not my gas and
And to be clear, there was a lot of people there arguing with him. This guy right here was arguing with them more or less the entire time. He's a Jewish guy, right? And he was in this guy's face and going ham on that. I know it was so fun to watch. I actually have footage of it myself. Go to my Instagram, the Brandon Morse Live, and check it out. That's where I posted the video. I don't, the Nazis, I'm not buying the Nazi thing, but of course, naturally, the press actually 100% bought it. It was for bad optics, just like Hansen said, it's for bad optics. This is from HuffPo. Right-wing Florida confab rip swastika waving neo-Nazis. Governor DeSantis keeps mum. Sure, there were attendees outside arguing with him, but Ron DeSantis hasn't denounced them. Dude, what a lazy tactic. I understand the keeping silence on certain things in some contexts. For instance, if you are straight up asked, hey, do you denounce the Antifa violence? And then like with AOC and Ilhan Omar both have completely stayed silent about that kind of stuff. They are asked repeatedly to their faces, do you denounce the Antifa violence happening right now at the border or wherever? And they stay absolutely silent. Yes, that is silence that you can take as tacit approval. Or not even tacit, just straight up approval. Okay? But why should DeSantis have to denounce every single little thing that happens around him? He has obviously nothing to do with this neo-Nazi nonsense. Nothing. And on multiple occasions, he's made it very clear that he is not a fan of Nazis. Why does he have to denounce this too? It's a small little, like, I think that there were maybe a grand total of 7 to 8 people there who were flying neo-Nazi flags. And this guy with the DeSantis country flag. And they were there for a hot minute. They actually came out at one point in time and were like, hey guys, can y'all not give them more attention because it's just stupid? Right? Does he have to say, I saw what was happening outside, and I just want to remind everybody for the umpteenth billionth time that Nazism is bad, and I denounce it, and I don't support it? Why should he have to? How come, the left gets off on not having to talk about Antifa violence at all? Anytime they're asked about, they straight up ignore it. Or in many cases, they actually support it. I mean, CNN's actively supported Antifa violence. No one talks to them like they're bad. It makes no sense. This is so stupid. This is literally an attack on DeSantis. This is trying to discredit DeSantis. Here's the funny part. Let's say that these are actual Nazis. The left is helping these Nazis. Oh my God. They're helping the Nazis by carrying their message. Like, it's just so stupid. It's so stupid. They are literally taking the Nazi message that they're trying to spread around and being like, yep. Let's report on it. Let's spread that around. But I don't think that these are actual Nazis. I think they're plants. I really do think that they're plants. This whole like swastika made out of Floridas it's a meme that the left would create. It's a meme that the left would create. This is clearly all these people are pretending to be Nazis in order to discredit DeSantis, and these people are going right along with it to discredit DeSantis. Ridiculous. Stop Anti-Semitism got in on the game too. Horrifying to see swastika flags and anti-Semitic signs being displayed earlier today at the Tampa Convention Center outside Turning Point USA's SAS2022 conference. I was looking around at the various websites that were reporting on this. And like I said, there were maybe 7 or 8 people there. Maybe. With like these neo-Nazi actors. Just a few. This is from the Jerusalem Post, which I typically do not. I don't know, maybe they got bad info. I typically don't dislike the Jerusalem Post. In fact, they usually do pretty good work. The neo-Nazis demonstrated outside Turning Point USA Student Action Summit on Sunday in Tampa, Florida, waving Nazi flags with symbols. On the second day of the conference, over 100 neo-Nazis marched from Gaslight Square Park at the Tampa Convention Center. Guys, there were 7 to 8 people there. It was a small squadron. Why are we saying that there were over 100? There was not over 100. Literally, guys. This was all of them right here.
Plants. So their whole
You see them in the background right there. These people aren't even neo-Nazis. These people are the people who came to confront them. It's this small, tiny group right there. Does that look like over 100 people to you? What is going on? What is happening? This is a blatant... I hope the Jerusalem Post just got really bad info. In fact, I'm willing to send this video to me like, does this look like 100 people to you? Maybe you just misreported. Maybe you meant to type, maybe you added a 0 on accident. You know, maybe you said it was 10, but it wasn't, it's not even 10 people. And they take it so seriously, too. Like, it should be very, very... I mean, look, again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are actual Nazis. Maybe they are. It just seems way, way, way too convenient that they always show up to conservative movements and they always attach themselves to the latest thing. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. I'm sorry. I just don't. It's too much. It screams plant. Waste of time arguing with FBI plants. Wondering, did any of them have... I think that you do have federal government plants. This is... Look. I think it's a little strange. Okay? It's a little strange that you have these people who look like they are the business end of federal government operatives that show up with federal government issued stuff. Okay? One of whom forgot to take off the tag from his bullhorn whenever he was pretending to be part of Patriot Front. I don't know much about Patriot Front. I really don't. I don't know much about them. I just know that it seems a little strange that they show up and they just kind of sort of have stuff that indicate that they actually work for federal authorities. It's strange. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I sure would love it if they would prove that I was wrong. Okay? I sure would like for them to provide evidence that the people who are saying that they're FBI plants or just Fed plants in general are wrong. Okay? I don't like to engage in conspiracy theories. I really don't. I feel weird when I engage in them, but man, it gets a little strange. And I would love to be proven wrong. Please prove me wrong. Did any of them have red-laced boots or white ones? Let's see if I can get a good photo. Good still. I mean, they just look like black laces from here. These in particular. It's for the left's base. Yeah. Oh, and don't forget that the left will fundraise off this. Oh, absolutely. Isn't this similar to guilty until proven innocent? In what regard? What this is the JP lumped you into Nazis. I just... that was the point. Like Brad said, there was that media guy with the camera, like laying on his back. Do you think that honestly, here's the thing, they wanted pictures of themselves taken like that too, right? If they were actual Nazis, don't you think that they would actually hate the press? Because don't they always accuse the press of being Jewish? You know, the Jewish press. do you think that if that was an actual person from the press, that the Nazi that was standing over him wouldn't take the opportunity to maybe do something that, you know, a little violent or a little bothersome, you know? Nice hat. Thank you. Red actually made that for me. Yeah. Oh, I need one of those hats. It's my it's my tinfoil Stetson that Red made for me. You know, they still haven't been prosecuted at all, LOL. The Patriot Front, so no police report. LOL, funny that. So no police report for Patriot. Why? It's just okay. Let's say that they're not Fed planes. They're giving us way too much in terms of unanswered questions. And the natural thing that happens whenever you have unanswered questions is that people will start to fill in the blanks themselves with clues. Right? That's how conspiracy theories are created. It is a lack of information and people trying to fill in their lack of knowledge with something that you know might be. Somebody did a study on this at one point in time, and they said that mysteries to people are almost like pain for the brain. Whenever like you have something that is directly affecting you or it's making you mad and you don't have an answer for it, not having an answer for it actually kind of bothers you very badly. So you start to look for clues and you try to come up with hypotheses or belief systems based around clues that you have in front of you, you know? And so it's okay, let's say that, you know, Patriot Front, or like many of the members of Patriot Front, aren't feds. Give us proof that they aren't feds. And maybe people will stop saying it. And I do think it's a little strange that we continue to see these weird instances. And again, I'm not a conspiracy theory fan. I don't like that stuff. I hate it. I hate engaging. I hate talking about it. But it's weird, man. And I do have I might not engage in conspiracy theories that much, but I do notice patterns. Weird, and if a pattern goes on for long enough, and if the pattern is weird enough, then it's worth looking into. You know? Don Atkinson Jones, thank you so much for the subscription. I really appreciate you being here. Find a cheap Stetson, cheaper long rolls of tinfoil, and some reflective duct tape. Yep. You know they are paid when they all say the same thing using the same buzzwords. Yeah. Buddy of mine was in federal prison once. He knew the Aryan Brotherhood during that time. Some of his stories, wow. I would love to hear some of those stories, actually, because I hear they get up to some weird stuff, man. They are weird people. You were spot on, Brandon. You know, I was there, and I'm born and raised here. I'm 53 and literally never saw this before. It's a little strange, isn't it, Don? It's a little strange. A little bit plant strange, if you will. I want to end on this. Ron DeSantis, whenever he showed up, I wonder if they'll show the crowd here. I want to show you guys. That was the end of the Ted Cruz speech. By the way, I want to say this. SAS student, they have an amazing entrance game. It looks like something straight out of WWE. Like, whenever it gives you the skin pricklies. Like, they come out and they, like, run this video and then boom, like, this bass hits. You got fire coming out of the stage. The person walks up. Like, you get goosebumps. You get goosebumps. All right, check this out.
Their livelihoods and their
this is like a video that was playing before
if you are trying
DeSantis
to
took the
lock
stage.
people down, I am standing in your way. I'm standing for the people of Florida.
Look at this. If you're in the room, this is like, whoa. He comes out and throws the hats. All right, check it out. Check out this crowd. I want you to pay close attention to the crowd. And this crowd was going nuts. So I'm over on the left part of that way. I'm on over that part of the stage, like next to it, in the VIP section. All the chairs were taken. I could only stand. These people love DeSantis. And he gives this bomb speech, right? It was awesome. Let's go to Trump now. Let's go to Trump. Trump takes the stage and I thought that Ron DeSantis' speech was well attended. I really thought it was. No. Not even a little bit. Trump blew Ron DeSantis away. His crowd was so much bigger, to the point where like there was standing room only on Ron DeSantis' speech. There was only standing room going on. This is Trump's, by the way. You had people standing on chairs. TOS. You had people standing on chairs in order to see him, to get a good look at him, right? And by the way, thanks to Jen, I got Trump's speech ahead of time. He didn't stick to it at all. He literally spoke. He started at, what was it? Let me see if I can go back and find it. This man started his speech at 7:36. Which, by the way, he was supposed to go on much sooner than that. He kept people waiting. Goes on at 7:36. He ends his speech at 9:24. I was looking at the script for his speech. Hardly touched on it at all. He just went ham. I was like, that's impressive. That's actually impressive. This guy had people going nuts. Okay? They were enraptured the entire time. Then, because I was talking to Tina Gwynn, again of Puck. Go check them out. They're pretty cool. And she asked me, she was like, who do you think would win in an election between Trump and DeSantis? And I was like, if you would have asked me on like Friday, I probably would have said it's DeSantis might have an edge because, he's got the loyalty of various Democrats turned Republicans like Joe Rogan and Elon Musk, and he just seems like a really cool guy. He's America's favorite governor. But the fire that is happening for Trump right now, it was so freaking strong. This is the poll. This is the poll for who would win, their straw poll. If Donald Trump did run and the 2024 Republican presidential primaries offered the following choices, for whom would you vote? Only those receiving votes are listed. Donald Trump, 78.7%. Ron DeSantis, 19%. Now, it is TPUSA, right? TPUSA is very, very, very pro-Trump. Now, given they're very, very pro-Ron DeSantis as well. Absolutely. So there's no love loss there. It's I mean, they're pretty well loved, both of them. And I'm happy actually to see that. But And I realize TPUSA is very pro-Trump. But if they're that on fire for Trump here, and it's the youth and stuff like that, how on fire for Trump is the rest of the country? If they did run right now, I am not entirely sure that Ron DeSantis would stand a chance against Donald Trump. Some of you might not be very happy to hear that, but just judging by what I saw. And I want to make sure you understand that crowd was, yes, there were a lot of young people there, but again, there were all ages sitting there, and they were kids sitting with their parents wearing Trump hats, these young college age kids all the way up to 30 something years old. They were all standing there going ham for Donald Trump. And his straw poll comes out and pretty much just tells me that the GOP is still in love with Trump. I do not know what's going to happen in 2024. There's a lot of time left, a lot of football to play, but I can't sit there and say that Donald Trump is probably not going to be the forecasted winner already. A lot could happen between now and then. But damn, man. This isn't even close. It's not even close. DeSantis for president. Yeah, so, look. I know a lot of people. And here's the thing. I would love DeSantis as president. I really would. I would love DeSantis as president. In fact, you get people on Red State. By the way, go to redstate.com. Everything that I'm talking about here is going to be there. Also, like the stream, please. Sign up for the VIP program. Use promo code Morse, MORSE on sign up. I just feel like if the election did happen today, I'm not sure DeSantis would win. And I could be wrong. TPUSA might not be the best sample size, given its extreme loyalty to Trump. Charlie Kirk has always been a huge Trump fan. The rest of the nation might see things differently, especially all those people who came over from Democrats. Because remember, we recently, over the past year, had over 1 million Democrats swap from being a Democrat to a Republican. And they still might not want to vote for Trump. So, it could be off. It could be off. But it's very clear that the GOP is still in love with Trump. And then on top of that, what Trump has going for him is even these Democrats, many of them who are former Democrats, I should say, they saw what their life was like under Trump, and then they saw what their life was under Biden, and they might go, I would like to go back to what I know. The good times that we had. I would like to go back to that. And that was done with Trump. So it's hard to say, man. There is a lot of fire for DeSantis all over this nation. But what I saw that night, it makes me wonder, man. It makes me wonder. DeSantis has more character and integrity. He and I are both Navy vets. He takes the no man left behind seriously. Here's the thing. Again, a lot of football left to play. And if you were to put DeSantis and Trump up against one another and on the stage and arguing with each other, both of them, if they would behaved and just stuck to facts alone about their records and what they were able to accomplish, both of them would have a very, very, very strong case. At the end of the day, it might just come down to personality difference. Who prefers what in terms of personality? So, Don, you were saying like DeSantis has that no man left behind thing. Some people, it resonates. That personality trait resonates. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Thus my support for Sarah Palin for Congress. Oh, she is running, isn't she? She's jumping back into politics, man. When elephants battle, the grass suffers. I don't want to see a Trump versus DeSantis primary. I to be honest with you, I'm scared of it. If I can be very honest with you, chat, I am very scared of a DeSantis versus Trump primary. Because I feel I'm about to bash the Republican Party a little. Maybe it's not fair to say I'm bashing it. But I am going to highlight a very unfortunate thing about the Republican Party. Republicans are typically very individualist. And they are not scared of speaking their mind. And when they speak their mind, it's not always nice. And this really happens during primaries, during Republican primaries. And we tend to make each other hate each other during primaries, so much so that we're willing to pick up our toys and go home and not vote for the guy that did win. I saw it happen many times before this. I'm pretty sure Obama versus Romney fight that happened, I'm pretty sure Romney lost, not because Obama defeated Romney, but because the Republican Party defeated Romney. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's scary. I hate to see the Republican Party tear itself apart, because you're going to have a lot of people who are super, super pro DeSantis and a lot of people who are super, super pro Trump. And it's not going to be pretty. That fight is probably not going to be pretty. Lost internet, so missed the end. I know. Trump 24, DeSantis 2028. The issue with that is that I feel like DeSantis is going to... Not everyone gets to have the same longevity of fame that Trump has. Trump is a strange animal when it comes to how his fame doesn't decrease over time, despite the fact that he's out of the spotlight. I do not know if DeSantis will have that same capability outside of office, and this is the last time that his last term that he gets to be governor. So if he was to run for 2028, he would be out of office for what, 2 years? And a lot can happen in 2 years that will make you forget about a governor, that'll make you forget about a politician no matter how much you love them. So I think that the iron will never be hotter for DeSantis. And he should strike it if he wants to try to run for president. The issue is, of course, it might cause some rifts. And no, let me take that back. It might not. It will cause some rifts. For sure. What's up, Soul Warrior? My question is still, who is Trump's VP going to be? Noah might not be a bad choice. Didn't Noah kind of make a lot of people mad, though? I feel like she kind of lost a lot of say with the Republican Party after the whole transgender thing. Like, didn't she bow to the NCAA or something like that? And that made a lot of people mad. But who knows? Maybe people have forgot about it already. Hard to say. DeSantis wants to stay governor of Florida. I'm telling y'all, he will not bail on the Floridians and everything he has been accomplishing. And we want him for 2028. If he wants to run for 2028, then there's a very strong chance that I'll vote for him then too. I probably won't forget. I mean, when he pops back up, though, I mean, there is a thing that to be said about political momentum. There really is. And Trump is a strange animal when it comes to that. A whole different beast. I just don't know if DeSantis will have that same staying power. I don't know. DeSantis might also be of the same class, but I mean, if we're being very honest with ourselves, Trump he knows how to control the media. He knows how to talk to people. He knows how to stay relevant. Not every politician can enjoy that. But man, DeSantis, in my honest opinion, would be a superb president. And I want to see him in the White House at some point. I really want him in the White House. I feel like he would be, right now, he's the best man for the job. When it comes to being able to lead the Republican Party in a direction. The only difference, the big difference between him and Trump, though, is I feel like Trump is leading the Republican Party in a way it's never been led before, and that really did help us learn to fight back against the Democrats. And we still haven't completely mastered it as a Republican Party because we spent so much time being nice to Democrats and turning the other cheek. We had that compassionate conservatism going on, and Trump just said, none of that. No more of that. You're going on the offensive. And not that DeSantis doesn't go on the offensive. He doesn't. But we can see the difference between the way he does it and the way that Trump does it. And I think that's one of the reasons that many people are still super addicted to Trump, because they like the way that he stuck it to the left. This is all just up in the air, by the way. I am not saying that one thing is going to happen. There's still a lot of football left to play until 2028 or 2024. Excuse me. A lot. So a lot can happen between then and now. And some minds might be changed from one camp to the other on multiple occasions. So we'll see, man. Look at how brutal 16 was. But luckily Ted Cruz had enough character to overcome the bitterness. But it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty, man. And there are still Republicans to this day who hate Cruz because he resisted Trump. You know? Pompeo would be a good VP. Yeah, I don't know anymore either. DeSantis VP to Trump? It's a possibility. It's a possibility. That is something that is an idea that I entertained at one point. And it still might happen. I don't know. That's why I want to see Trump DeSantis ticket, and Diaz would naturally walk into the office in 2028. Yep. It wouldn't even be a hard transition. Because what do the Democrats have right now? Now, given it's 2028, a lot can happen between then and now. But right now, the Democrats' number one pick is Governor Hairgel. No. Nah, bruh. Sorry, that ain't happening. I'll be honest, I went third party during the Trump-Clinton election. At the time, I thought Trump was another Dem, but then I voted for him during the second Trump. Same thing. Same. I didn't vote for Trump during the first election because I was afraid of the same exact thing. I didn't trust Trump. But man, I did say the moment he got elected, and I wrote it for the Blaze at the moment, and I was like, all right, you win, and I will support you whenever you do well and good things. I'm going to be right there cheering you on. I'm going to lambast you when you do bad. And I really hope that, come the next election, that I want to pull the lever for you. And sure enough, I did. The next election, man, I voted Trump. Happily. I was glad to be proven wrong. If they can keep it coolish, Trump DeSantis could work. Cruz for a future Supreme Court nom. That's been floated around before. I think that he'd make a great Supreme Court justice. Green Speaker of the House. Can you imagine? Dude, people would lose their minds. Y'all need to know I have served as a housing authority chair under Christ and currently serving under Fried. They suck and lie. A lot of Republicans do, like some of these establishment. Yeah, I do not doubt that. DeSantis for Speaker of the House. Too low for him, I think. Too low for him. I think that he needs to be in the White House. I really do. From 4 years, DeSantis in 8 years would be good. I mean, look, we can sit here and create these fantasy worlds all day long, and trust me, it's fun. But I mean, the truth is it's really hard to predict what's going to happen. Really hard, you know. And we'll see in the future, man. Ted Cruz needs to be on the next. I would not disagree with that. I think he'd make an incredible justice, guys. That's going to be it for me. I actually went the whole. I thought I was going to stop early. I really did. I was so exhausted. Even can y'all hear my voice going bad? Can y'all hear it? But thank y'all so much for showing up here. Go to redstate.com. Check us out there. Sign up for the VIP. See, look at how I'm tuning out. I'm already tuning out. I'm losing my train of thought. Sign up for the VIP program. Use promo code MorrisMRC on sign up. Please like the stream. Follow me on Twitter at @TheBrennanMorris, but more actively, I've become way more active on Instagram lately. @TheBrennanMorris Live on Instagram. Go check me out there. My DMs are open, by the way. So if you want to send me a message and suggest something, at some point in time, I want to do something with you guys. I want you guys to send me your favorite YouTube videos. And they have to be, or TikToks, probably more accurately TikToks or something along those lines, or some favorite Instagram video. Something that is under 10 seconds. I want to put this together under 10 seconds, and then we play them on stream. And I have to try to not laugh. And there has to be a consequence if I laugh. It's you laugh, you lose. I want to do something like that in the near future. Think about what that is. Send me a DM, and if I get enough of them, I'll do a little segment. But in the meantime, guys, y'all have a good rest of your week. Enjoy it. I'm going to go rest. Your boy needs rest. All right. Much love, everybody. Peace.